Hi everyone, hello, welcome back to our second video. So the first one was really good. We had a really good outcome and feedback from our followers and for everyone that found us on Facebook or YouTube. So hopefully this one will be even better. So today we are going to talk about insulin dose adjustments for twice daily insulin regimens. So I'm pretty sure that there are lots of people that are using this type of insulin regimen. So I think this is going to be really helpful. So stick around and let's learn some things and learn how to adjust your insulin doses. So first of all, I would always recommend to set your meter with your proper date and the correct hour. If you don't have it, so please do it now and wait at least 3 to 5 days for you to check more blood sugars from these days, and then you can have a decision and a proper decision on how to adjust your insulins. For everyone else that has the meter set up with the correct date and hour, I would recommend to remove some readings from your meters, or either Bluetooth or through your computer, or if you are using a diary, good, or just take the information from your memory of your from the memory of your meter and write it down. So I always tend to organize the blood sugar readings, like in one column I will do the blood sugars from the breakfast. On the left side, in the middle, I will write the blood sugars from lunchtime and then dinner time, so I can organize my thought and my decision on what and which insulin to choose to adjust. So blood sugars targets before meals will be around 4 to 7. I will always say that everyone should have, or usually can have, different targets, more specific targets for them that were established for themselves or by themselves or from the diabetes team. So if you have any other targets that are not these ones, stick with the ones you have and do the same logic and thought and rationale for the everything that I'm going to explain next. Another thing that maybe I thought you is going to be useful, it's the targets for the blood sugars 2 hours after meals. That should be around 8.5, less than 8.5. But once more, I would recommend you to stick with your own targets. Okay. So regarding the twice daily insulin regimens, we have different types of insulins that we can do this type of regimen. So you have the basal insulin Levemir that you can inject twice daily. The intermediate acting insulins, that it's Humulin I in Insulatard, and the mixed insulins, which is Humulin M3, Novamix 25, 30 or 50, and the Humalog Mix 25 or 50. So these insulins are all different from each other, but they all have like a specific action profile. So meaning that from the moment it's injected, you will have a peak of insulin concentration, if you can say so, like an absorption that will help you to cover your meal time. So as you know, healthy individuals that have healthy pancreas, so the pancreas will work along the day to produce insulin, and every time you eat, your the healthy pancreas will always work a little bit more to produce more insulin that will cover the meal that you're doing. So, and then it came back to what we call the background and the basal insulin. So Levemir has a profile that has this peak of insulin that can work as an insulin that will cover your meal, such as Humulin I and Insulatard. They have all different times of action. So it will, for example, Insulatard can last until 12 hours, for example, Levemir up to 18 to 20 hours. But they always have, from the moment is injected, this profile. In the other hand, the mixed insulins, they always, as the name really said and indicates, is a mixed insulins regarding the background insulin. So like a basal insulin, if you can just to make it easier for you to understand. And it has the insulin that will, it's more the quick acting, the rapid acting insulin that will cover your meals, so meaning that you have two in one. So just a little bit of a note regarding when you should inject these insulins. I'm pretty sure that maybe you know when to inject, but I found that sometimes my patients tend not to really know, or they forget, or they really don't understand why and when they should inject the insulin. So for the Novamix and the Humalog mix, because they are a different type of insulin within this group, they will act in your body and will be absorbed in your body more quickly. So that's why you have to inject it immediately before meal, meaning that you have your dinner there ready for you to start, and you inject your insulin and then you eat your dinner. You can they sometimes they say that you can inject insulin straight after you finish meals, and that is true. But what I found is, you finish meals, you start washing your dishes, or you start just washing up everything, and you end up forgetting your insulin, and your digestion already started, so that's going to be insulin that's going to be delayed. So bear in mind that you should always have the all the Novamix and the Humalog mix immediately before meals. So in the case of Humulin I, Insulatard, and Humulin M3, because they have different ways of absorption and they take a little bit longer, you should inject the insulin 20 to 30 minutes before meals. So talking again regarding the action of the insulins that I've discussed. Of course, as I said, they are not all the same. Like you have the mixed ones and the other ones, but they always have this profile that go, as you can see there. When from the moment it's injected, it can go high, but then it come high concentration, and then it goes slowly dropping the concentration in the blood throughout the day and the night. So because you have this less and less along the time, that's why it really works to have insulin twice daily for this type of insulins. So focusing on the first dose of insulin, as you can see, this insulin will work throughout the morning until the afternoon. So when you want to adjust the insulin in the morning time, you will have to understand that because you inject in the morning and you have action throughout the afternoon, the readings that you have to focus, and the readings that you want to manage, will be the readings before dinner time. So if your readings before dinner time are high, you should adjust your insulin in the morning. So blood sugars should be checked. I have here three choices: 2 hours after breakfast, before lunch, and before dinner. The two first options are quite good to understand later on how your blood sugars are going with that insulin and with that dose. But I can explain that to you a little bit more deeply in other videos or other articles. Because you can also have this insulin some of this insulin 3 times a day, and this is really important to do. But for today's video, I would ask you to just focus your decision on the readings before dinner. So if your readings before dinner are more than 7, you have to, and you should, increase your insulin dose in the morning, so it will be next morning, for 2 units. So if you're having 20 units in the morning of Humulin M3, you should start now on 22 units of Humulin M3 at morning time. Okay, so If you want to readjust your readings at dinner time because they are out of target, you have to change and adjust your insulin in the morning. Going back to our graph and focusing on your second dose of insulin, as you can see, the insulin that is taken before your evening meal, it will work during the evening and overnight, meaning that when your blood sugars in the morning are out of target, you should adjust your insulin at dinner time. So, checking your blood sugars, as I said, you have three choices to understand if the profile of your and your the dose is it's okay for you. You can check 2 hours after dinner, before bed, and before breakfast. It's the one that for now I would advise you to do. So if your readings before breakfast are out of target, so what you have to do? Yes, that's it. You have to adjust your insulin in the evening. So as you if you think about again your graph and your insulin action, you have the insulin working through the night, so you will have readings in the morning that will give you the answers to adjust or not your insulin in the evening. So if you have readings the majority more than 7, you would increase 2 units to your insulin at evening time. And if you have less than 4, once more, please understand why you're having hypos. Hypos is a really emergency situation. You have to treat your hypos properly. Please go to our website www.diabetes.com and look at our article regarding hypos. The article is called "Are You Hyper Prepared?" It's a really nice article which is going to help you. Lots of information it has, so I'm pretty sure that you're going to like it and learn a lot from it. So if you have hypos that maybe was just one off, you're not really understanding what's going on, or maybe once or twice, I would recommend you to decrease your insulin dose at evening time by 2 units. So if you are doing 20 units at dinner time and your blood sugars are less than 4 in the morning, I would recommend you to go to 18 units next time you have your insulin at dinner time. Okay, so just a little bit of a resume of what we discussed. So insulins, from the moment they are injected, this type of insulin, from the moment they are injected, you will have a cover from your meal. That's why you have to inject your insulin before your meals, before breakfast and before dinner. When you have blood sugars that are not on target at dinner time and you want to adjust them, you will have to change your dose at breakfast time, because the insulin given at breakfast time is the one that is going to have effect on your dinner time readings. When your blood sugars in the morning are high and out of target, what you have to do is to adjust your insulin that you inject at dinner time. Okay, what I would advise to you is to focus first on your readings before breakfast and then adjust your insulin before dinner first. Sort these readings first, and then you can always go to adjust your insulin and your readings at dinner time. So as I said, when you have readings that are on target at dinner time, you should adjust your insulin at breakfast. So to help a little bit more and to give you a little bit more information, please go to our website, and we have, where you have this article with this video, you will have a printout that is really handy for you to stick on your fridge or to keep in your wallet, so you can adjust your insulins and know what to do when you know that's your readings are not on target, and you just go to your printout and it will help you to do so. I would advise you also to keep increasing your insulin every 3 to 5 days if you are comfortable. If you're not comfortable at all to adjust your insulin doses, don't do it. Ask for help from your diabetes team or just send us an email. Our email is here, hello@diabetes.com. So just send any queries you have, any problems, any doubts, comments that you have, or any suggestions you have to give us. The next videos will talk about insulin dose adjustments for basal bolus regimens, which I think will be really good, because I know there's a lot of people out there on this type of insulin regimens. In the meantime, please keep checking our website, diabetes.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe in our YouTube channel. In the meantime, see you next week. Hopefully all you will like this video and next videos too. And take care, everyone.